on them. Included in there are the council minutes for August 16, 2010, the council workshop minutes for August 30th, 2010, the regular accounts payable claims in the amount of $643,357.77, Agenda Bill 121-10, setting a public hearing for the amendment of the Business Enhancement Factor Technical Document, Agenda Bill 122-10, a supplemental professional services agreement number 6 with Wallace Engineering to increase the cost of services by Universal Field Services for the East Street project. Agenda Bill 123-10, the easement and right-of-way utility easement from Clark Public Utilities for the East Street project. Agenda Bill 124-10, a memo of understanding for the International Association of Firefighters Local 244-4, Article 26 for workers' compensation, and Agenda Bill 125-10, a supplemental professional services agreement number 2 with the FCS Group for stormwater rate study. What would be the council's pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that the consent agenda be passed.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Mayor's report this evening, I have 3 items for you. One is an appointment, if you would be so kind as to ratify the appointment of Julianne Spears to a cemetery board position. I sent some information out that we had to call and kind of get some information from Mrs. Spears. This was one that I mentioned at last week's meeting, that sometimes you get some very brief letters of interest, and this was one. So I had included some information that Mickey was able to get from Mrs. Spears over the phone and send along to you. She is retired, recently escaped Portland's clutches. She now has property with chickens and geese and loves it here. She spent part of her life on a farm in the past, which is why she came out here to Washougal for her property. Has a background in software companies, and she likes to contribute locally. After the death of her father last year and all the visits that she made to that cemetery during that time, she decided that this would be an ideal place to start with in the local area. She saw what she liked and did not like with the other cemetery, which was not ours, and looks forward to working with us. With that, I would ask for your ratification of Julianne Spears to the cemetery board.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we authorize the mayor, or that we ratify the appointment of Julian Spears to the cemetery board.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and a second to ratify the appointment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item I have, it is with pleasure that I read a press release that we put together. The City of Washougal has recently received a certificate of municipal leadership from the Association of Washington Cities for Councilmember Rod Morris, who has completed over 30 hours of training credits to earn this distinction. The Certificate of Municipal Leadership program is designed to enhance the ability of elected officials. The program provides mayors and council members in Washington with knowledge and skills required for effective governance. To earn this certificate, the official attends a variety of AWC-sponsored municipal workshops, including sessions on budgeting, land use planning, personnel, and leadership. The courses help the mayors and council members learn the essentials of municipal service and to improve the ability to work with council colleagues, city staff, and citizens. Rod's been actively involved with the city government for the last 20 years, and he's also been a volunteer firefighter for the last 31 years. Mr. Morris is retired, where he gets to take in his love of riding motorcycles. Councilman Morris, although this isn't the beautiful copy of it, it's one that I can at least hand to you this evening. Congratulations on earning that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I believe that now gives us at least 3 council members, if not more, that have that distinction. Final item that I have for you this evening is a proclamation for Constitution Week, September 17th through the 23rd of 2010. Whereas September 17th, 2010 marks the 223rd anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States designated September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week, now therefore, I, Sean Guard, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Washougal, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through 23 as Constitution Week, and ask that our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties, remembering that lost rights may never be regained. In witness thereof, I have hereunto, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city to be affixed to this document. With that, Mr. Stevenson, do we have correspondence? Okay. Council comments. John?
Prior to this meeting, I had the privilege of addressing the Clark County Commissioners. Actually got a snapshot of Molly as she was leaving her meeting. And the topic tonight was E-Verify. The county is moving now towards moving their threshold of $1 million contracts to zero contracts.
Wow.
So $0. So that means every contract that is signed by the city has to be E-Verified. I would I would like to look at us bringing this back up at one of our workshops to work in parity with the county and move to a zero threshold for our city as well. So if we could work that in at the next workshop, that'd be great. Thank you.
Any other council members? Comments? Michael?
Mr. Mayor, with regards to the upcoming budget discussions, I wanted to offer a couple of points to consider for the council and also for yourself. In an average year, I think it would be a wise idea if we limit the expenditures, planned expenditures, to the planned tax revenues, which just makes common sense, and I think we all agree with that. And the question is this an average year that's coming up? I think we can all agree that we're living in pretty extraordinary times. And to think of it in terms of whether it's a fat or a lean year, if we have a fat year where there's more revenue coming in than we had anticipated or that we really have a right to expect, in that type of a year, it might be a good idea to save more money than we use immediately and build up the reserves. And we also, by extension, could say that during a lean year, it would be a good idea that if we're convinced that it's going to be a short lean year, or I should say a short period of lean years, like maybe 1 or 2 lean years, then it would make sense that we could go through some reserves and use some reserves to cover some of our shortfall. But the question that I've got, and I want to pose for you to think about in the next couple of weeks, is this a lean year that we're coming up with, 2011, in comparison to 2012 or 13? And 2010 may appear to be a lean year. I mean, it certainly hurts in a lot of my friends' lives, coworkers, and I know we all have known people who are hurting right now. So 2010 appears like it's a very lean year in comparison to 2008 or 2009, but the question we have to ask ourselves is whether next year is going to be leaner and perhaps even leaner still. So along those lines, just yield the floor there and ask for some consideration of those ideas. Thank you.